Welcome to Beyond Boundaries, the podcast that explores bold ideas, big questions, and what happens when we challenge the limit of what's possible. I'm Bob Bockinger.
And I'm Katie Muma. We're your hosts, and we're so glad you're here.
Beyond Boundaries is brought to you by TEDxColumbiana, proudly sponsored by Comco Industries, and recorded right here at Bradford Studios.
TEDxColumbiana is a locally organized event inspired by TED's global mission because we believe that ideas change everything.
Each week, we'll bring you conversations with thinkers, creators, and doers, people who are stretching the edge of what's possible.
So lean in, open up, and get ready to go beyond boundaries.
Today we're in studio with Ryan O'Donnell. Ryan is educated. He works for the Educational Service Center of Columbiana, and he is the Family Student Liaison. Welcome, Ryan.
Well, thanks for having me, Bob. I'm really appreciative.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do. What are some of your passions?
Yeah, I'd love to. First of all, shout out to Bob and Katie for both having me on today. This is really exciting. I'm greatly looking forward to the opportunity. Beautiful studio you guys have here.
Thank you.
Background about me, I am from Salem, Ohio. I graduated from Salem High School in 2009. I received my bachelor's degree in Human Development and Family Studies in 2013. And this is going to be my 7th year working for the Columbiana County Educational Service Center. I actually have 2 different job titles there. I am a family school liaison, so I'm very passionate about helping all of our students and their families who are in need, whether that means they're in foster care, they come from drug-addicted homes. I've worked a lot with people who are homeless, finding them all the resources that they need. And then my other job that is after school, I'm the Innovative Career Exploration Site Coordinator. It's through a 21st Century Learning Grant. And we meet with students in grades 7 through 12, really exploring and looking into all sorts of different careers by a multitude of different things. We do personal assessments, field trips, guest speakers, and we do a lot of testing as well. So, and that is on year number 3 right now, and we're really looking forward to continuing to grow. And it's something that the youth really need. You know,
Sure.
I take a stand for that. The youth have such a strong and powerful voice right here in this county, and they have no idea what's available to them. So I do the very best I can to network with all different businesses and agencies, whether that's an actual business, mental health, employment opportunities, because these kids need to know how much is available to them right here in Columbiana County.
So where are you located in the district?
So I'm over at Latonia Exempted Village School District,
Okay.
and we're a K through 12 campus, and we have about 500-ish students in grades K through 12. In the liaison position, I'm very fortunate to be able to help all the families who reach out to me in times of need. And then as far as the Innovative Career Exploration, we solely work with kids in grades 7 through 12. But my ultimate goal is to eventually reach down to the elementary kids as well and even do some career exploration with them too.
So today we're here to talk about TEDx. I appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And yeah, let's talk about TED.
Okay. Well, my number one question is, all I really know about TED is through movies and professional development that I've done at school. But can you guys tell me how TEDx started, where the passion came from, and, you know, kind of how long you guys have been planning this? So I'd love to learn all about what TEDx really is.
Well, TED started in 1984. Richard Saul Warman and I believe, I can't remember the other gentleman's name. They started it in 1984.
Okay.
It actually caught fire in 1990, and it's been going since 1990, pretty much ever since. Their tagline is "Ideas Worth Sharing." So they bring people onto the stage to let them share their ideas with the audience. In 2007, I believe it was 2007, the very first TED Talk aired online. And since then, it's been going strong. Mm-hmm. 2009, TEDx was started. So TEDx is an independently organized function. You have to get a TED license. You have to apply for the TED license, and you have to follow their guidelines. Mm-hmm. And then I believe 2018, Greg Smith, our guy that took it over.
Right.
He is the one that actually brought it to where we're at today.
Okay, great.
Greg Smith and his passion for developing people and public speaking. When you put those two things together, the perfect platform, is TEDx.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually a perfect response there, because I was going to actually ask the question, the difference between TED and TEDx.
Yeah.
So now I have a much better understanding of that. So
TED is global.
Thank you, guys.
TED is global. So think of TED as encompassing the whole world. They'll go out and even though we do the same thing, they'll go out and get speakers from all over the world. And TEDx is a smaller version. You can bring it into your communities, and anybody can do that. All you have to do is go onto the TED website and look up TED Talks and do the research. We've had a lot of help over the years as well, and I would suggest to you to go listen to the 3rd episode. Mark Sylvester is that gentleman, and he is a TED elder. He's probably been there. He probably was at the very first TED Talk in 1990.
Safe to say he's got some experience.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I kind of think of TED and TEDx as that TED is the entity that started it all, but just like the Ohio State University's extension, they have offices that takes the research that's done at Ohio State and integrates it into the counties.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of like that. TEDx is that integration, that extension of TED into local areas so that everyone can be exposed to the richness and the goodness of what they've created at TED.
As a quick side note, the Innovative Career Exploration Program that I mentioned, we work very closely with the Ohio State University Extension Office, and they do some incredible things for the youth in our county.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're very blessed to be working with them.
And I don't think, when you go to the county fair and you see the 4-H programs, you don't think of that being an extension. The general public doesn't think of that as being an extension of the university, when really it is them spreading their knowledge and their insight to the local communities. So have you ever listened to a TED Talk?
I've seen some TED Talks during professional development, and off the top of my head, I cannot remember the names of those TED Talks, but as far as the platform and kind of what everything looks like, I am a little familiar with it. But today, being here in the studio, this is really exciting. It's brand new to me, and I'm really looking forward to learning a lot more about what TEDx is going to do.
Well, TEDxColumbiana, since we moved it, because we're at the Columbiana Arts Theater now.
Correct.
Since we moved it this year down to here, I would like to say that our TEDxColumbiana and TEDx Youngstown are a little bit different than some of the other ones that are being produced. We curate our speakers because what we want to do is we want to bring in the ideas worth spreading, but we also want to bring in the local individuals too, because it's about what we can do here locally as well. This year we're going to have, I believe, Tim Figley and Mark LaMancha come on. They're local individuals, and they're going to talk about, their book and how they developed
The industrial athlete, correct?
the industrial
Athlete,
athlete.
that's what
Thank
I was
you.
gonna
I am very, very beyond blessed, actually, to know both Tim and Mark.
Yeah.
Mark's wife, Sherry, is highly invested in our ICE program, and she actually volunteers a lot of her time and hours to come in and work directly with the students.
Yeah.
So I can't say enough good things about both Mark and Tim.
Well, he's going to take the stage,
Yeah,
right?
we're
And
going to
set-
expect to see you sitting in the stands.
I will be there.
in the auditorium.
Absolutely.
So we curate our speakers. We go out and we find these individuals that want to do this. Katie, I'll let you talk about it because you were a speaker.
Yeah, sure. Like the speaker prep and kind of what
Yes.
that looks like. So, as we mentioned before, we're blessed with a lot of great resources. And so all of our speakers get a professional speaking coach, and they are selected at least 6 months out. There was a time through COVID where they weren't selected quite as soon. And they work on their content with their professional coach, and it gets down to every single word, how it's enunciated, what the movement is. And so you'll find that TEDxColumbiana is a premier product. And we're looking forward to showing that to this community with that premier product. But as a speaker and as someone who's been behind the scenes at TEDx, It's like you are the star of the Broadway show for those 12
All the
minutes.
lights are on you.
All the lights are on you. This is being recorded.
Yep.
It's going to come back around, and hopefully millions of people will see you on YouTube, right? So your outfit, your every move, your enunciation, how you say it, when you say it, why you say it, all of those things are calculated. And so it turns into a performance, literally a performance.
And correct me if I'm wrong, a TEDx talk is all memorization. They're not allowed to bring up cards or speaking notes or anything, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how we handle it. I have seen TEDx or TED and TEDx talks that they do have speaker notes. But yeah, we handle it that it's all memorized.
Yes.
That makes it even better.
Unless you can't memorize
Right.
or have a hard time memorizing. We actually had one gentleman that decided not to do the talk. He was excited about, being asked to do the talk. And once he found out that he would have to memorize, he kind of gracefully bowed out because that's not him. He likes to talk off the cuff.
Right.
He likes to bring other things into it. We don't want that. We want you to be focused. And our talks are not 18 minutes long. We try to stay between 8 and 12 minutes long.
Okay. And a lot of preparation is done clearly when you have a speaking coach.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
To
that's a
be
big help.
Very concise and to the point, what you want to say exactly. And I think, one of the exciting things about TEDxColumbiana and TEDx in general is just the variety of topics. When you come to TEDxColumbiana, it's not just about technology. It's not just about education. It's not just about the arts. There's so many topics, emotional development, socioeconomics. Then you do throw in the science and education and all of those things, but there's something for everyone. And I think some of the most interesting ones that I've heard are things that I know nothing about. And it's just like eye-opening.
Right.
Ideas worth sharing. Yeah, it's like, wow, how did I have no idea that was possible, or whatever the circumstances.
So TED actually stands for technology, entertainment, and design.
Okay.
So that's where the TED trademark came from. And then when they decided to take it from a global standpoint down to the local level, that's when they put the X on there. So
Okay.
TEDx.
So X means local.
Yes.
Okay. How can we get the youth involved with TEDx? Do you guys have any ideas, or maybe a committee of people that we can bring together to get the youth involved with maybe doing their own talks, building some skills themselves, public speaking, leadership development? I'm already thinking of a couple ideas just off the top of my head here, but have you guys discussed the possibility of maybe getting youth more involved with these talks?
We have.
Okay.
That's something that Bob's been working on pretty diligently.
Yeah,
That's
probably
great.
for the last 6 months. Because we moved to TEDxColumbiana from TEDx Youngstown, and we have our own theater, it gives us the opportunity to look into different aspects of TED. And TED actually offers a TED Youth, which is actually being able to do the same thing that we do for TEDxColumbiana in the school systems.
Where they
And
would get a coach to come in and work with them on certain skills.
that would be our preference, yes.
Okay.
Well, obviously, we're going to need to look at how all of that, can be put together. We're going to need to do fundraising and things like that. But I think the opportunity, and you know me, Ryan, you and I have known each other for the last 8 years.
Absolutely.
It's very important to me to make sure that our kids get as much as they can out of us adults. We are the role model to them, and they need to be able to thrive in our community, and we want to stay in our community. So we have to offer them things. So, and then we're going to look at TED Adventure. Same thing like you do with the ICE program, to take them on field trips. I don't know
Creating
what that
those awareness opportunities.
I don't know what that looks like. I was part of LCC this year, and we went to Baker's Dairy. That was the first time I've ever been on a dairy farm, and it was like It was amazing.
They
Something
got some
that
tasty chocolate milk, right? We were there for a field trip as well.
And pumpkin.
We took the kids,
and
yeah.
coffee.
Yeah, everything's good out there.
but I live in Austintown, Ohio, which is 20 minutes away, and it's this close. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. So we're looking at doing some of that, and then TED salons as well, which a salon would show a TED talk to an audience, and then we'd sit up on the stage and take their questions and get some feedback.
Okay.
So those are all the things that we're planning on, but it's going to take some time.
I was just going to ask too, how frequently do you guys plan on hosting these TED Talks at the Columbiana Arts Theater? Do you guys have any ideas of monthly, bi-monthly? I wasn't sure if you guys had an idea for that yet.
Yeah, so on September 20th of this year will be our annual event. So far, TEDx Youngstown has happened annually.
Okay.
But the idea moving to Columbiana and some of the things that Bob just described, that it would be more frequently. So we're getting into this more frequent, these podcasts and spreading the word, and I want to give more opportunities for others to share their ideas worth spreading. So we don't have a timeline necessarily. The salons maybe every other month, or, try a TED Youth and maybe see if that's an annual event, or, different things like that. But right now, our big event is just once a year.
Okay.
And then we also had the TEDx Live event. TED Live.
Yes.
Which was the actual TED from Vancouver, and we showed at the theater with an audience the uncut versions of those TED Talks. Some of them, Bob curated that content, selected which ones he thought our community would best benefit from.
Yeah, and that's another thing. After the talk, it goes through an editing process. We do all our editing here, and then what we have to do is we actually have to submit those talks to TED, and then TED will review them.
They do a final review.
Yes, and then approve them, or say you need to make some changes, or you might need to cut some of this stuff out. Depends. We have been close a couple of times to having some that weren't allowed to be posted, but we worked through them, and that's
made the necessary changes and edits.
That's the key, to make sure that that we're following their guidelines, but they have the last say. They're going to put it this way: it goes on to their site.
Correct.
So all the TEDx talks, you can go to TED.com and find them all. The easiest way is to go to YouTube and search, but that's that is the core component of actually getting the talk onto the platform.
Okay, yeah,
Making
that's
sure
very
that
useful.
They approve it. And then we have to also do, after the event is over, we have to send out an email with a survey to all the people that were there. These are the little things that you have to do to maintain your license. And you take the survey information, and you upload it to TED.
Okay.
And that's a core component that you need to do. So
Yeah, they want to make sure that the audience experience is up to their level. There's a
To
lot
their
of
standards.
things to their standards. Yeah, the talks are factual. You can't talk nonsense and they won't post it. You can't be selling yourself from the stage.
Right.
You can't, be promoting your book or anything like that. And then they want to know how the audience received the atmosphere. And so we upload the survey, and they go through that stuff. I mean, it doesn't go into a black hole, I don't think. They're pretty active,
Yeah.
And for you to have your license renewed then for the next year, you have to have a favorable assessment. So.
Yeah.
And what time will the TED Talk be on September 20th? Is this an evening event? Is this during the day?
It's in the morning.
In the morning,
9
okay.
a.m. Yep.
Great.
So it'll start at 9 a.m. and then we'll have all the talks and be done early afternoon.
So what's the date today?
Today's date is August 20th.
Yeah,
It is 1 month
1
away.
month. I was going to say 2 months. 1 month.
1
from
month
today.
away.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's going to be really exciting.
And on the back end, from my standpoint, looking at how we do things from a director and producer standpoint, we worked on I worked with the coaches, the speaker coaches, to talk about lineup. That's very important. You want to make sure that you have the proper lineup. We are doing 5 talks, having a 15-minute break, 4 talks, having a 15-minute breaks, and 4 talks.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll be done by like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So from 9 to 1 o'clock in the afternoon will probably be the extent of the event. And then we'll have a meet and greet afterwards in the lobby of the theater. Some of the speakers will come out and talk with and answer any questions that the folks may have. Again, looking at what this is ideas. We've got 13 talks. All those talks are not going to resonate with you. We're just hoping that some or maybe just one will resonate with you and give you that fire inside you to make a change.
And that's all that really matters. If you leave and feeling inspired, 1 out of 13, you were there for a reason. You were in that chair for a reason.
Yeah, in the room. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I wanted to ask you guys is, what is your most effective strategy as far as networking and spreading the word about a TEDx talk? So September 20th, we're a month away. Do you guys do flyers? Do you send emails out? Do you do any press release? What do you think is the most effective strategy for you guys?
Yeah, I think awareness for the community of what it is. So we're talking with you today about TEDx 101 because I think a lot of our community is not sure exactly what it is when they see it on the billboard.
Right.
So we've had, digital billboards up. We do have a pretty extensive email list of people who have come to our events in the past, social media, just sharing what's going on. And then with those speakers that we have, them sharing it with their network of people to come to see them. So I think it's kind of a conglomerate of things, but it's really important for people to know what value they're going to get from that day. And if you've not sat in that chair and listened to all those talks, you might not really get it.
Right.
But once you do, you just want more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to help you guys. I'll gladly relay the message to the Latonia School Administration team. If anything needs to be put on our school website, our school Facebook page, I'd love to be a part of that to make sure the community is aware of this, that this is happening.
Well, and that's this podcast is just that. This is the start of making it aware to multiple individuals, different genres, and it's just we want to get the word out there because we want to be the central hub of Northeast Ohio, Western Pennsylvania, of what TEDx looks like. We'd love for people to call us and say, hey, we're thinking about starting a TEDx. Can you help us out? We'd love that because that's the key. It's spreading the word and getting it out there. And, with this TED Youth, I'm looking so forward to taking on that project as well. And I know you've agreed to help out, and we appreciate that.
Absolutely. Anything I can do to help out, I can talk to the Business Advisory Council. We have our youth student panel. We have a couple youth leadership groups throughout the county as well. So anything I can do to help and assist with spreading the word, not just to the adults, but to the youth to attend events like this as well.
Yeah, that's what it's going to take. This is a grassroots effort. We're starting, TEDxColumbiana is brand new. Even though we did TEDx Youngstown for several years, TEDxColumbiana is brand new. We've got a brand new outlook. We're looking at doing things differently.
Yeah, with that comes new branding. Beyond Boundaries is our branding for our TEDx event.
Okay.
And that's been a long time coming. We've had professional graphic designers working on that. And it's pretty cool just kind of what that imagery incites in people when they think of beyond boundaries.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that comes to mind in regard to what is TEDx?
No, I think you guys did an excellent job explaining everything. I'm going to leave here today with a much better understanding of what you guys are trying to do, what the mission is, your guys' vision. So thank you very much for all those explanations.
Yeah.
We got a few things to ask you.
Absolutely.
Every guest that comes into the studio, we ask them 4 questions.
Okay.
It's our launch pad.
Launchpad,
Launchpad.
not lunch.
Lunch.
We already
launch.
did that.
It sounded like
Yeah,
lunch
we
pad.
did lunch.
Do we get
And
a
then I
second
got
lunch
a
today?
personal question to ask you after these 4. So the very first question, a boundary, and just this is a sentence I want you to finish. A boundary I once believed in, but now challenge is.
I would definitely say that a boundary I once believed in is that saying yes to a lot of people, being a people pleaser, and that's something I need to work on as a professional. Is you'll ask anybody I work with in a professional setting, I have a hard time saying no. I feel like I can help everybody. I feel like I can change the world. Sometimes I need to bump down and be a little more realistic with that. So that's something that I have struggled with, and it's become a challenge, but I am getting better at it.
Great.
Yeah, that's a good one. We learned that saying no is actually saying yes to something else, right?
Absolutely.
With our priorities.
Something that you might have a little bit more passion about.
All right, question number 2. A person, idea, or moment that helped me break through was?
I would say that it was my mother. Her name was Sandra O'Donnell. Sandra actually passed away from a sudden heart attack last year.
Sorry to
And,
hear that.
you know, I don't want to get too emotional or
Yeah,
personal
yeah.
here, but
Sure.
that woman was without a doubt my hero. I know that she was my mother, and that sounds biased, but that woman would give her shirt off the back for anybody in the entire world. She spent hours and hours of her life volunteering at church missions. She worked at the church. She worked for a youth ministry group. She would bring in people who had nowhere to live and stay with us. So she made me realize that this world is a lot more than just us. We are here to serve others and not just serve ourselves. So without a doubt, she has been my greatest guidance in my entire life. And I still hear her when she's not even physically with us today. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great
And
inspiration.
we know where you get your you can't say no from.
yeah, absolutely. That's 100% true right there.
Right. If someone listening today feels stuck, I would tell them.
I would tell them to reach out to their closest friend. And that friend could be a parent, as I just mentioned, my mother. That friend could be a teacher. Find somebody who you really connect to. And there is nothing wrong with being vulnerable and talking about your emotions and things you're struggling with. I even struggled with that when I was a teenager, when I was in high school, and even in my college years. I was very guarded. I didn't want to reach out for help. But one thing I could tell the audience is there is always somebody out there that is willing to help you. And as Bob mentioned, that's what we want to show the youth in Columbiana County. A lot of times they don't feel that the adults care about them and they don't really care what their future is going to look like. Well, there are people who are here to help them and guide them throughout life.
Yeah, sure.
So
Great.
reach out to a loved one, reach out to a friend, a teacher, anybody who you can connect with.
Cool. Thank you. All right, the last one. To me, going beyond boundaries means
Never giving up. You will face some really hard times in life, some very difficult, challenging times that you feel like you're stuck, you're not being heard, you're not going to get through it, but never, ever give up on your passions and your dreams.
very good. Thank you. Appreciate
Absolutely.
those insights.
Yeah.
Yes, you're welcome.
Well, here's the personal question. So a few weeks ago, Ryan, myself, and Brad went and played golf.
Yeah.
Dennis was supposed to come, but he wasn't able
Yes.
to. We'll pick him up the next time. And Ryan told me that he was going to play in the Youngstown Greatest Golfers competition.
Yep.
I'd love for you to share
I'll give you a little background of what
what
happened.
happened.
Yeah. So, as Bob knows, golf is my biggest passion outside of work and my wife and my daughter. If you don't see me working or spending time with my family, I'll be on the golf course. I
Okay.
actually have a tee time tomorrow, so I'll be on the
Perfect.
golf course right after my work day. So I did sign up for what's called Youngstown's Greatest Golfer. This is its 15th year, And they have all different divisions, so it's not just you're playing stroke play against guys who are going to beat you by 30 strokes. They have different handicaps and nets. Yeah. So I entered into the 20 to 25 division. And after day one, we played at Mill Creek. I was actually in first place.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a couple strokes lead. And then on day two, you're guaranteed to play again. We went over to the Salem Golf Club, and let's just say it wasn't a good day. I really struggled on the course, and I actually ended up missing by 3 strokes, and I didn't make the cut.
Oh, man.
But I'm so glad Bob asked me that because, I had all my friends text me and be like, what happened, man? Are you okay? And I said, I couldn't be better. I was out golfing. I'm enjoying the beautiful weather. Right. I'm getting to talk to guys I've never met before, the camaraderie of the community. And I don't get upset at golf. I don't get mad. Yeah. I just enjoy every second that I can be out there. And you know what? I'm just going to get better, and I'm going to go out again next year.
That's great.
That's an awesome outlook.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Salem,
thank you for asking.
Yeah, Salem is kind of, have you played Salem before?
I played there about 20 times throughout my life. It's a very difficult golf course.
Yeah, but, I've played it too, and I think Mill Creek, it might be a little bit, Mill Creek's a little tighter.
Yes, absolutely.
From the standpoint of you got trees that line the fairways up and down. But I'm sorry to hear that.
Some days on the course, you have it, you got it all figured out, and then 24 hours later, like, what the heck just happened to me? But I love the game so much. That's actually taught me a lot of life lessons, even just being on the golf course and learning how to be patient and persevere. Yeah. So, but I'll be back year after year because I love that tournament. Yeah, it is. It gives me a thought about failure. And you're taking this failure into a positive, which everybody should. Absolutely. Because failure is part of growth. And as you grow, you're going to fail. Everybody's going to fail. And you might as well just embrace it, be positive about it, and move forward and learn about it. Yep. Exactly right. Absolutely. So, well, I could probably talk about golf for hours if you want to do a golf podcast. Right? Yeah. But thank you for the question. I appreciate it, Bob. And anytime you want to go play golf, let me know. I sure will. Absolutely. Appreciate it. Well, Ryan, thank you again for being on the podcast today. We really do appreciate talking about TED and TEDx with you. Looking forward to having you at the event this year and having, see who we can draw in. We'd love to fill the theater. 417 seats. Okay. Get your tickets as soon as possible. They're going to fill fast. But yeah, whatever you can do to help us out, to spread the word, we'd really appreciate it. Absolutely. I am beyond blessed and grateful that you guys had me on today, and I'm really looking forward to this opportunity. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on Beyond Boundaries, brought to you by TEDxColumbiana and proudly sponsored by Comco Industries. Today's episode was recorded at Bradford Studios, where ideas come to life with clarity and creativity. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone ready to grow. And visit us anytime at TEDxColumbiana.com to stay connected with upcoming events, speaker highlights, and new episodes. We're just getting started. So keep reaching, keep growing, and keep going beyond boundaries.